Salima, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful, amazing, life-changing episode of Sidereal Astrology, Myth, Magic, Mysteries, and More.
Yes.
I'm here with my lovely co-host, Nikki Tennyson, the co-founder and president of the International Sidereal Astrology Association. You can find all of her information at revolutionastrology.com. and also at siderealinternational.org or .com or .net. Stick it in there. It's going to come up, okay? If you look for sidereal astrology, especially sidereal astrology organizations, you're going to get it on the first page because we are moving up in the world, ladies and gentlemen, okay? We got our event coming up this September. We're about, 5 weeks out?
It's coming up really fast.
Yes. So you guys got to register. Link is in the description. I am your other co-host and co-founder of the International Astrology Association. My name is Abbey Quinn. And you can find more about what I do at siderealastrology.com, which I believe is the name that it says right there. So you may or may not have noticed, if you're new here, this is your first time, we changed the thumbnail a little bit and the title of the episode, because what we're finding is, and I think Nikki might agree with this, is that a lot of people interested in astrology and tropical astrology, they're actually a lot more receptive to maybe sidereal astrology, like the ideas, than they realize or than we realize. But if they can't find us, how are they gonna learn anything about it or interact and stuff? So if it seems really aggressive and scary, don't panic. We're just trying stuff out. We're going to see what sticks and kind of go from there. And if you ever made YouTube videos, you're a content creator, you understand the concept of, A/B testing your thumbnails and whatever. Supposedly, thumbnails are like the signature of success on YouTube, because if you got great thumbnails, you'll probably get a lot of clicks and a lot of people will watch your stuff. Thumbnails are like the thing that I'm least good at when it comes to YouTube. That may be in editing. I mean, I can do it. I just don't like to. So anyways, we're trying it out. Don't panic. If it's too creepy, we'll go back to something of it, like freaking people out. Hi, Desiree. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome. So we missed last week. We had, I think we were going to the Alpaca Park. We ended up going to Raduga Park, which means rainbow in Russian. It's not a real rainbow, but there's like cliffs and waterfalls, and it's really cool. So we went there instead, but we weren't here last week, so we didn't get to do the full moon special. So I believe we're going to talk a little bit about the full moon today. If Nikki, you're up for it. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah. I mean, we're still
backdate us here.
Yeah.
What day was it? What day was the full moon?
Oh, it was the 9th, right?
Okay. I don't know.
August, right?
Your
day,
yes. Sometimes different on your guys' date than it is in mine, because I'm 10 hours ahead. So
right. Yeah.
Desiree, that's where I make Canva. That's where I make all of my thumbnails. Thank God for Canva. I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't do anything. Probably just get whatever random thumbnail came up for me.
I love Canva.
Desiree, where's your moon and your sun sign? We'll take a look while we're up here, peeking around through the sky. All right, so can I find the moon? Here we go. Let me see here. I'm going to go in here and try to see if I can grab the actual 100%. Where were we? And I think I have this in like Kamchatka or something. I should probably change the location too.
No, that looks about right, because it was like in the last degrees of Capricorn.
Okay.
As the sun was transiting through Cancer.
Yeah, it says 99.8. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going the wrong way. Hold on. Yes. 99. And okay, so probably right there somewhere. So I just had it. I know I had you, moon. Where'd you go? Moon. There we go. All right. Yeah. So right in the middle, it looks like probably, but this was Kamchatka time. So let me see here. I'll switch it out. Was it everything that you hoped it would be, Nikki?
The full moon?
Yeah.
I survived it. It was fine.
Okay. Survived. Take it.
Yeah, it was okay. It was just another cycle for me.
Okay.
Yeah. But it did highlight a lot of the areas of my life, like it happened in like my first and sixth houses. So it really did like highlight the areas of my life where I'm not, you know, being responsible for my routine and, you know, taking care of myself, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I've had to change a lot of things. I had to change a lot of what I'm doing, you know, start writing lists, get more organized, you know, those types of things.
Gotcha.
You know, the burnout, just kind of feeling the burnout. So
okay. Overworking yourself. It's a lot of that. I would suspect Capricorn moon.
yeah,
Making you pushing yourself a little too hard.
yeah, it sucked a little bit. I was like, what's going on? Why do I feel like this? I should have.
Oh, that's right, because your moon isn't Capricorn, so it hits you right on top
Yeah.
of it too. So you got smacked with the
bit.
energy suckage all at once.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Well, you
rough.
know what else I was doing too is I was like, why is this so like emotional? Like I know, like I'm already an emotional person. It's like surprise, but this is, I just didn't expect it to hit me that hard. And I was like, well, what the hell? Seems like it's more, I don't know, like a Neptune themed, right? And I was like, okay, that makes sense with it being a Capricorn moon. If, you know, Saturn rules Capricorn, Neptune and Saturn are conjunct together in Pisces. It just makes sense. But I like to look at, I've had time actually to look at like the planetary nodes. And I absolutely love following the planetary nodes and how they work and studying them. So I'm not like an expert or anything, guys, but it's something that it's a work that a lot of evolutionary astrologers look at. It was something that Dane Rudyard had brought up in his work. And I absolutely like, I don't know why, I'm just like drawn to it. But this full moon happened on the Neptune planetary nodal axis. So the sun was really close to Neptune's south node. Hold on, let me just triple check.
I trust your judgment. I trust your note taking.
Yeah, no, it was near the north node. The sun was near Neptune's north node, and the moon was just a few degrees away from Neptune's south node.
Okay.
You know, so
yeah, that's
Capricorn is, yeah, it is. And we don't always, nobody really talks about the planetary nodes and, you know, how it affects a person. We talk about these outer planets and their planetary nodes affecting the collective, you know, because they're generational, you know, planets and things like that. But, you know, Capricorn is what we want to nurture, take care of, you know, what we want to build on. So it you know, this full moon became a lot about like accountability, responsibility, you know, redirecting our focus on, you know, our loyalties, our devotions, you know, work-related stuff. And I actually saw it quite a bit. I had two different people come to me who let go of really good jobs that they had because they were being used and disrespected and paid poorly and punished for doing, you know, the things that, hold on one second. I don't know why. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Your camera looks like it's off, but I definitely still hear you.
I don't know why it did that. It just like randomly did that.
Don't worry.
Yeah, totally like threw me off, but.
So people are quitting their jobs. They're tired of putting time and energy into stuff that they don't care about, or people aren't reciprocating.
Exactly. And I didn't really see this cycle as like a complete like ending, like, hey, you know, you have to end this and that, considering we have a bunch of like retrogrades, Saturn's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, Pluto's also, you know, retrograde. So, you know, I saw it more as like a reevaluation, you know, of your responsibilities, needing adjustments. But then, you know, it really did become about like what's worth keeping and what's worth letting go. You know, I thought it was really cool, actually, because I talked to these two different people who had the very, very similar stories. It was really cool. But yeah, both of them were like, yeah, fuck this place and fuck this job. And, you know, I did have a few folks come to me with some relationship issues, but I encouraged them to work it out. I was like, look, bro, I'm out here. All right. I've seen the dating scene. You need to work it out. you need to just work it out with your partner. And I don't know. I'm still working with this one guy. I got his chart. I finally got the real time. I was like, talk to your mom. If you want me to look at your transits, like you need to talk to your mom.
Yep.
But yeah, we want to, with Neptune going, retrograde, usually retrogrades want us to, like with Neptune, reevaluate our relationship with reality, our spiritual path. What are we being asked to make sacrifices for like the greater good? It just, being in Pisces, it's about completing a transformation, preparing for a new cycle. So, I mean, I guess I could see it really is about letting things go, but it's not like really about just letting people go. It can be about letting go of like past emotional patterns, like the way you used to view things. It could be about, just letting go about the way you feel or the way that you act around certain relationships, how you feel about your work, and like all of that stuff. Hold on a second. This is really bothering me.
Go ahead, try to troubleshoot. Yeah. While you're doing that, I will add to. Now I don't know over the exact date, so I got rid of my calendars again, and I'm detaching from time and space as much as I can possibly get away with. So, but I do know over this last week, and it probably did culminate. So that would have been Saturday for me. I'm not sure if that was Saturday for everybody else. But I do know that I also had like some, I don't want to say that. As far as like the career stuff goes, also maybe letting some things go. Now, I've already simplified to a great extent. So there's not much more I can let go of and still actually have a job because like I've minimized my stress. I do like, I do the absolute minimum, but some of the things I've really kind of come to terms with, and I have been meditating deeply daily and crying a lot. I don't know if you guys can tell I meditate before I call, and my eyes are all like probably red and stuff, but there's things in my job that I don't think I want to do as much or focus on. So as you guys may or may not know, I am in the final stretch of the Sumerian language book. And in doing that, I have to do like a ton of research. I have to create exercises. I got to dig back through all these ancient texts. And I'm realizing that I absolutely love doing readings. Natal readings are my absolute favorite because those can like change somebody's life for real. Like they have such a powerful impact on people. But at the same time, like I don't really feel like that's supposed to just be like, I like the teaching aspect just as much. I really love research. And when I'm sitting, one of the things that I ask people, what is the date? What was the date? August what? 9th?
9th. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hover here for a second and let it run. One of the things I always ask people when we're doing various work, why are you dark? It's like really dark.
You know what? I don't know what happened. Okay. I literally was just talking, minding my own business, and
looks like the power went out.
Yeah, the whole thing was just like, no, you're not going to do anything today. So I'm trying to fix it.
Interesting.
Just give me a second.
No worries. So, but one of the questions I ask people, I try to at least ask them the one, or I ask them two. And the first one is, Bill Gates dies, wills you all of his money. You already traveled all the places. You already did all the stuff. Your family's all set. There's nothing left to do. Okay. So like, what are you doing with your time? And 99% of the time, that answer that they give is what they're supposed to be doing in this life. It's what they want to do. Okay. Maybe they don't know the specifics of it. Oh, you wouldn't believe how many people have no answer to that at all. They have never thought about it. Like their whole life is just revolves around work. And that was what they thought they were doing until they've been posed this question. The other question is, what would you do if there's no more people on planet Earth? There's nobody to help. Okay. So like, I'm sure people watching this show and like you and I, people in the astrology field, like it's pointless if there's nobody to help, right? Because the whole point of astrology is to help people, to help yourself, to understand yourself, to like make the world a better place, so on and so forth. So what would you be doing then if there's nobody to help? There's nobody left. And the combination of those two answers are usually pretty indicative of what your life purpose is. So I've sat with that on and off again throughout my life. You know, I try to revisit it and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to and like on the right path. I do have a business and marketing background, and a lot of times I'll like think that I have to do the stuff that I have to do, like the marketing side that I have to do. And it's like, no, you don't actually have to go that route. You know, there's other ways. And so I can get locked into that being too analytical with all of it.
Yeah,
But,
I do that too. I do.
I really, yeah. So in my meditations, and it really happened over this week, which is interesting that you say that, because that's when it really clicked that the writing and the research, the writing for sure, but it's like I like eat the research like it's like, you know, there's almost nothing better. I can think of few things better than just digging out the information and discovering secrets and retranslating these terrible translations. And, you know, it's just fun for me. So I when I go through in my meditations, when I go through my ideal day, and this was not like an overnight thing. Anybody watching this, don't think that it just happens, but I'm living my ideal day every single day. The only, and we can't really call it a hang up or a problem. It's just so far like the state of things. And that's because I'm doing reprogramming. I'm getting out of this idea that where I have to do everything myself and like work 40 hours a week and do all these things. Basically is, you know, the financial side of it has to be such that I don't have to rely on, like I can basically go down to 1 day a week doing readings or calls, or a couple days a week or whatever it is, instead of having to do quite as much. And then I can, you know, like I'm like this close, you know? So it's interesting because it was a lot of this last week for me, at least, has been a lot of casting off those layers and like really cleaning house mentally about, you know, like getting rid of some of that stuff. Hi, Trayton. Yeah, I did it. Like I said, I had a good full moon. Nikki's, she says, you know, kind of so, but, you know, hanging in there, I would imagine.
Yeah, Abby, I'm the same way though. You know, I take on a lot of stuff and then I get overwhelmed because I committed to too many things and I can't fit them all in my schedule. And then I have a complete meltdown over it. And it's like, okay, this is a terrible pattern to be stuck in. You know, it's easy to get overwhelmed, I think.
Yeah, it was about 4 years ago that I had to step away from everything. I was running like 4 businesses. I was like on the board of directors of a tech company. Like it was just so much stuff. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm just going to do the thing that brings me the most joy and that I came here to do. And within hours of making that decision, and like literally just getting rid of everything and stop trying to do all of the things, everything fell into place. So welcome back, Desiree. Hi, Trish. Hope you said you're at the chilling at the lake, getting paid and listening to you guys. Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my camera, but it's there. You know what? You can see me. I'm going to leave it. I don't want to have to exit and come out. I have no idea what happened. It just weird technique.
You can try it. Why don't you pop out and come back?
Yeah, I'll do that. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. BT Dubs, I registered for the Sidereal Astrology Zoom convention. Heck yeah. We're coming down to the wire. Only got about 5 weeks left. We are going to have Dr. Danny Athen-Schmente is going to be with us, Gary O'Toole. We're going to have different panels. All of it's interactive. So lots of live Q&A. It's not like just lectures and stuff. Most of it is interactive. And part of the reason that we're doing it is because we really want to build the future for sidereal astrologers, people interested in the real sky. Okay. Not this other stuff that people are imagining is going on. It's definitely not there, you guys. Okay. You wouldn't want your doctor to try doing surgery on your heart by going in and like poking around in your stomach. Like it's important to know where stuff is at. So that's what sidereal astrology does, in case you didn't know. Oh, good. Good to hear it, Desiree. Excited to see you guys there. Let me see here. Yes. Okay, so Desiree, got the moon in Virgo, sun in Libra. Okay, close by there. Full moon was great. Good. South node in Capricorn. Okay, so this is applicable to the stuff that we're talking about. Now, I don't know, I can't speak for anybody else's thing that they do, but I can tell you in my experience, the South Node relates very much to the themes of the previous lifetimes. Maybe not specifically the last lifetime, but like the overwhelming stuff that you've been working on in your previous lifetimes. And you know what? I think my South Node might be in Capricorn too, but I don't remember offhand because I never look at my chart, but I think that it is. But here's what I do know. Yeah, it is in there too, now that I think of it. All this stuff that we're talking about Capricorn. So in the ancient astrology that predates classical invade. Oh, you're still dark.
It won't do anything. It's just like, no. You know what? I was getting.
It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
Goodbye. Did you not remember me telling you I needed to get a webcam?
Yeah, I did. Just
I
the
should
other
get a
day.
webcam. Yeah. I was,
like
I had,
or something.
Yeah, the thought was just like totally soaking my brain yesterday. And I'm like,
you're,
on Amazon.
You're creating it. You're like, nope, I know I'm not going to get the webcam unless it breaks. So you're like, okay.
Yeah, dude, I know. All my settings are the same. I don't know what happened.
No worries. No worries.
It's all right. You get me in the dark.
Yeah, we can see moving a little bit. It's like the power went
shadows.
out. So in Mesopotamian astrology, which predates classical and Vedic by at least 2,000 years, although probably much longer, somewhere between 2,000 to 4,000, but there's evidence that it could go back further than that.
Yeah.
This figure was Tashmetu, and she was the divine doctress, the grantor of request. If you look at her Amina lore, it's basically she's this mother or birth goddess, and she's just all about devotion and love and nurturing and raising babies and, feeding them. And we can see some of that imagery with the goat itself because of.
See, that absolutely makes sense to me because of Cancer being, right across from Capricorn. Like you can't have Cancer being this emotional, sign without Capricorn being emotional as well. It's a really weird thing that I've come across with modern astrology where, Cancer's just this big ball of emotions. And then Capricorn's this big, strong, asshole that just doesn't care about your feelings,
Yeah, that's definitely not what's going on. I'll tell you what. Yeah. So this Capricorn energy is very feminine and very selfless and devoted to a point, like to a fault, basically. Now, maybe in like a divine feminine sense, we wouldn't be just giving more than we have to give. But what we do as humans is we end up like just putting way too much time and energy into stuff like people that aren't reciprocating or projects that we need to step away from. And a lot of people with strong Capricorn in a chart and the South Node, this is going to apply to some extent. They tend to burn themselves out, and it happens physically. Depending on what else is going in or on in Capricorn, people can get autoimmune disorders. Their body starts breaking down, and it really just comes down to stress because they don't rest, they don't stop. Now we see some of this in the modern context with Capricorn when they're like, well, they're workaholics, and that's not always true. But even if they're not putting all that energy into their career, they're usually putting it into something really, really strong. So when it comes to the stuff that maybe you came here to work on, and we'd have to see exactly like where your North Node was. I'm not sure if you said, but it's basically going to mean that this selfless nature, this putting lots of time and energy and work into stuff, you've already done that. Okay. Like you've already been down that road. So that's probably not the way that you need to go this time. You need to learn from the good parts of that karmically and then apply them now, but not necessarily go all in and like just eat yourself up alive. You've already done those things. You've already spent many, many lifetimes. Now, again, this is one perspective. I can't speak for anybody else's, but that'll definitely do it. Yes, Desiree, the glyph of Capricorn is part fish. Of course, they are emotional. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
That's because I don't think a lot of modern day astrologers they don't use the real sky. They don't look up. They just read textbooks and they're told, oh, that energy still is working because everybody has those same elements in their body and their soul. And that's what you're speaking to. And that to me is just absolute bullshit when it comes to astrology. Like, no, that's not in alignment with what is happening in the sky. Planets emit energy. Okay. We know that we're all energy, right? Like we all know this, like we're made of energy. We can read people's energy. You can, feel it, when you're not welcome, when somebody loves you, you just know. And, so to me, it doesn't seem like it's a really hard concept to grasp that, we use astronomy with astrology. But for some reason, it's just been such a hard concept for people in that, community and even in the magic community to grasp. It's like,
it'd be like doing math without numerical values. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're not, that's the whole point.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought in a million years I'd be sitting on a show on YouTube telling people, the sky is real. There's things happening up there and we can see them. And they're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. That might be real for you, but that's an alternative truth. And we follow something else.
I think it's getting harder for them to say that it's not true. It's more now they're trying to either like run away and not have the conversation or make up a bunch of excuses as to why it's a valid system. And it's really not.
It's frustrating. It is. Yeah, it is. It's frustrating. I'm like, wow, this is like reality though. This is reality. This is right in front of us. We can see it. We know it's there. Like you can stand outside on a clear night and triple check what Stellarium is telling you, what your programs are telling you. So at this point, it's 2025. There's really like no excuse.
I think so, yeah.
There's just no excuse anymore for this. As a collective, we've been through hell. Okay. Like we've had a 9/11, we've had, a COVID, we've had lots of bullshit wars. And it's just the communication is awful. We've never been able to connect and communicate as much as we have now. And we still are misinterpreting things. We still aren't getting the entire picture. Just really weird, isn't it? Just super odd that we can be able to contact each other and speak to each other from like across the country, across the oceans, and we still can't get the facts down right. There's a lot of illusion and disillusionment going on in the media and what we know and what we think we know. And that's been going on. That's just like, that's not like it's something that just happened because Neptune and Saturn, got together and
right.
Pisces.
Yeah, some of it's a part of human experience, like the
Well, I think it's connected to the planetary nodes too, because we have both Saturn and Pluto's nodes. Is it? Yeah, both Saturn and Pluto's north nodes sit in Gemini. And those two like to work together to restructure things, move things around. It kind of really, perverts the current communication, styles. It's really been confusing, I think, for a lot of different people. I mean, I don't know. It's easy to remember the MySpace days, how excited you were. Like you'd hear a ding and you'd be like, oh my God, I got a message. Somebody messaged me. I don't know. I was excited because I was like a stay-at-home mom. And
I didn't discover social media until MySpace was already dead. So it was like a Facebook thing.
Oh my God, you missed out.
Did I?
It was, yeah. Well, I taught you how to code. That was nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There were some cool things on there. And, but it was the beginning of the misinterpretation of what people mean, you can't read emotion, but you'll attach an emotion to what you're reading. There's just a lot of, I think, confusion around what people mean and what they really meant to say. And, I don't know, it was just the kind of the beginning of something really weird around that time. Yeah.
I believe
the camera is really bothering me. It's
all right.
I'm a shadow person today.
You sound fantastic. Your
so
voice
cool.
is ringing through very clear.
Yeah. All right. Sweet.
Yeah.
So I was saying about the nodal axis that Neptune nodal axis and the full moon being within just a few degrees of it, I think it just highlighted a lot of, the same things that we see when we looked at just the Capricorn moon, like releasing rigid, overly structured patterns, of the past, like, if you're prone to stagnation or, illusions and believing stories you've told yourself over and over again, it's time to kind of let those things go, let those old stories go. Yeah. With the North Node of Neptune in Cancer, we really do need to kind of release all that overly structured rigidness and kind of be a little bit more vulnerable. So yeah, I totally agree with what you were saying about the Capricorn Cancer axis, and you need to let go of that tight, and kind of let it flow a little bit.
Yes, more flow.
Flow,
definitely.
Learn how to trust your intuition, your emotional responses. Learn how to trust, what your body's feeling, how, emotions are rising up. Sometimes those things can lie to us too. We can be self-deceptive and we can play devil's advocate with ourselves. Like, did I really feel that? Do I really know that? It's like kind of weird how it works. Emotions, and we're just like walking bags of like water and electricity and we feel things. Like, don't you think it's weird? I have been having that conversation with myself over and over again. Like, why am I here? Like, really? Like, why? Like, this just seems so odd to me that I would land on this timeline and on this planet in this place and experience such depth of emotion. Like, I kind of hate it and I kind of like it, and I kind of, I'm just like, what? It's a whole bunch of what the fuck, because we're looking at reality in a whole different way now. Some of us, some of us, I guess it depends on the life changes that you have going on, and which the world is changing drastically. It's crazy, like how much it's changing, and in such a weird way. Like, I don't see the Pluto and Aquarius, like new beginnings, Is
that what they're saying?
Okay. Yeah. Pluto's in Aquarius, man.
Yeah,
it's just going to get weird, man. Like, no, it's not. And it's still in Capricorn. We're still seeing like these systems, and structures get real weird. We're confronting authority, failure of authority. There's like a crunch down on like, on our freedoms, really. I mean, we're seeing this tight squeeze here in my country anyway, under the guise of improvement, when it's really just almost, it feels like corporal punishment, but yeah, I mean, you see this erosion of, outdated structures and systems, and this overhaul of like health institutions. And it's not, we aren't anywhere near new beginnings whatsoever. The current astrology, puts Saturn and Neptune in like, oh, they're in the last degrees of Pisces. They're going to move into Aries. There's going to be everyone's like expecting this brand new beginning. I'm sorry, but it's not happening. Uranus did not go into Gemini at all. As a matter of fact, Uranus was just passing through and met up with the Pleiades, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy when you actually take a look. And not every, constellation is an even 30 degrees. Some people may read their charts that way, and that helps keep them organized, because that's, we talked about that. That's what the ancient Mesopotamians did to help keep track of everything.
The Babylonians did.
Babylonians, yes. And that makes a lot of sense. But
they were also aware that the constellations did not match up with those 30-degree portions.
Yeah.
It was literally just there for tracking purposes. They did not assign any type of rigid meaning to them the way that happened with classical and Hellenistic astrology.
I've been studying a lot of history, the astrology history, and I just can't believe everyone's like Ptolemy, is that the guy? Is that his name?
Ptolemy, yeah.
Yeah. They're just like, what he says is gospel, and that's it. That's just that. And that's been like that for a really long time. And I'm like, well, do we know who this guy is? Do we really understand like where he was coming from? At the time he made all of those decisions. Yeah. I mean, everything lined up, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
But at what point do we take a look and we say, hey, the separation is just, this gap is way too far. Traditional astrology, when you apply it to the real sky, is incredibly accurate. It's incredibly accurate. And I show people that all the time. When I'm online, I've been in different groups. I've been in different like tropical groups, and I'm answering questions. And these folks are like, oh my God, how do you know that? I'm like, well, you gave your birth information out there. Let's plug it in. And I'm looking and I'm telling you what area of life like this is affecting you and why you feel this way. And their just jaws are on the floor. They're like, how do you know that? I'm like, hey, just follow my Sidereal international page and sign up for our event, and you can meet a whole bunch of other astrologers that do the same thing. And that's the reason why I really wanted to start the ISAA, was because the astrologers that do sidereal, that do this type of work, are incredibly accurate. They are just absolutely incredible. And the information you get is just insane. And to see that not have a platform, and to see that just get stuffed down and it's a secret and keep it away. I know that for a fact, you're never going to see a tropical astrology based, entity pursue sidereal whatsoever. They're not going to make a platform for it. They're not going to support it. No, because it goes against everything that they have built already, which is insane, just insane to me that you wouldn't want to make some type of changes, some type of improvements. Maybe that'll change, but
it's tropical astrology is a religion, and it's the same mindset that locks people into a religion, even when it goes against what they know historically or scientifically. It's an ideology. It doesn't have to be true, like have any basis in reality. It's more, and it's hard to walk away from something like that, when your whole identity has been based on it, your career, your clients.
I absolutely know what that is like. I've had a complete life makeover in the last few years. In the past 3, I've actually been very challenging. Very, very challenging. So I know what that's like to say, hey, I was wrong. But I get it. I can get why some people would be like, no, I know I'm wrong, but I'm just going to keep riding this shit out.
Right.
I can see why. Oh, sometimes I wish I would have done that. But then I'm like, so those weird in between stages that are yucky, those growth stages. And I think, we have that Saturn, Neptune and Pisces really highlights escapism. A lot of people don't want to talk about what's going on right now in the world. They don't want to talk about the war. They don't want to talk about these things. They're like, I'm in my own little bubble. This is my safe space. And I don't want to argue. They've all got like whiplash from COVID, and they just don't want to get like hit again for having an opinion that might be different from, the masses. That, was such a challenging time, COVID. I've never been more challenged by the collective than ever. Clearly, like being lied to, and I see it again. I see it again with the same current administration that we have right now, where they're like, no, you're not going to be forced to take the COVID shot within a few weeks. You either take this shot or we ruin your life. And it forced a lot of people to change their life path, which is actually a really good thing. And then now we're seeing it with ICE. And no, we're not going to ever go after people where they work. We wouldn't do that. Now they're raiding farms. They're raiding,
Okay, but some of this is the nature of politics and government. It's
always highlighted right now.
It's always been the case. That's not, anything
Where they
new.
lie.
The good news is that people are starting to, it's a continuous process of people waking up to it.
Yeah. Well, that's just my country. I know other people come from different countries who are having absolute difficult times as well. It's not easy anywhere right now.
I think that's a part of the human condition and the nature of government. And it's
I think it really reflects Capricorn, Pluto, the Pluto going through Capricorn. I really think it really reflects these changes that we're seeing in government, this like grasp for some type of control and over the next 40 years, right? Pluto will be in there 20 years. I mean, it's going to be 2040 before
we're looking at 2040.
Before we enter Aquarius, before we actually, so we're going to see a lot more changes happening. And I think, when these other folks don't actually see the brand new cycles beginning, with Pisces and ending and Neptune and Saturn and Aries and all this stuff, no, we're still seeing this dissolution of structures. We're seeing this transformation and this reworking of what we have. We know what isn't working. We know what we have to do to make it work. How long are we going to stay disillusioned and in our own little bubbles and try to ignore it and just stay comfortable before something happens? Before people say, hey, we don't want this. This isn't what we signed up for. All over the place. So I'm kind of excited just because the current sky, the current astrology really is like as above, so below. We're seeing it reflected right in our current, our current government structures, our current, everything, even the way hospitals are run, even the way healthcare is being, run. It's all transforming. All these big systems and things are changing. So we're seeing it. It's just not fresh, new, awesome beginnings yet. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Long or short of it.
And that goes back to, you're not going to actually know what's going on if you don't know where stuff's at in the sky, which, obviously a lot of them don't. I actually like the Pluto in moving into, hold on, Pluto, let me grab it. I'm trying to multitask. I like Pluto moving into Capricorn for some of the reasons that we kind of already talked about. So, Sagittarius, which, let's see, how long has Pluto been going over here? Let's see, let's back up. It looks like, when did we really hit it? It's going to be
2008, wasn't it?
2006, 2008. Yeah, that was a big global shift for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. That's when Obama was brought into office. People saw that as a big shift, even though, not to go down the political rabbit hole, he dropped more bombs than George W. Bush.
Nobody talks about that, right?
So on the surface, it was a good time, a really big time of change. This is really when YouTube really became a thing, when Facebook started to take off.
It was just huge. It was really cool. Yeah.
So this was a massive, massive shift in the global consciousness, even if a lot of the power structures were, it's the same. They own all the horses in the race. It's the same, it's corrupt no matter what. And again, I think that's the nature of government. People who want control, they tend to, gravitate towards those positions, so on and so forth. But during this time, which has run us right up until basically now, Sagittarius. Now, I love Sagittarius. It is like one of the greatest, if not the coolest constellation in the zodiac. And I'm biased. I'm heavily biased here. But this was an Inerta, and he was awesome at everything that he did. There can be a problem here, though, because strong Sagittarius, and it depends on what you got going on in there. And again, this is in the Mesopotamian system. You guys, I can't speak to anybody else's stuff. So just be aware. It can be too good at things, okay? And think, therefore, that, it needs to be in control. So there can be, especially when it comes to global elements, governments, things like that, there can be an overbearing, if not controlling nature that comes with Sagittarius. And I think that we see some of that. Now, there's other things. It's not just, Pluto over here, but if we're looking at something generational, where these different shifts, where did my Pluto go? Where'd you go, buddy? Oh, that's Uranus. Nope. Other one, Pluto. Yeah. I do think that it represents a time of spiritually of being controlled. And this is something on like the global scale. So we're in the transitional stage, and this is always going to be messy. It's always going to be, you know, change can be violent, graphic. Look at birth, kind of messy, right? Like it's not always sunshine and lollipops and whatnot. Yeah. So this period, and it'll probably go, you know, for another couple of years in particular. Again, going back to what we talked about with Tashmetu and Capricorn and being a constellation of health and healing and nurturing and love and joy, I really do see an opportunity for people, and this is like on a mass scale, because again, we're looking at all 8 billion people on the planet, 9 billion or whatever it is, to focus more on health, focus more on healing, of loving, of nurturing, not just each other, but themselves. Now, what can also come out of this, though, is a lot of people are also going to do what we talked about earlier with doubling down on responsibilities, working themselves to death, right? Literally at times. So depending on the environment that the person is in, you know, the country, what's going on, like there's a lot of different moving parts, and you'd have to factor that in. This next period up until 2040 can be either this very like getting back to nature, getting back to natural medicine and health and healing modalities. Again, like I said, putting more time and energy into the things that you're actually passionate about and actually care about, not the other stuff. But at the same time, some people, there's going to be this diametric pull. Where some people go in the opposite direction and they wear themselves right to death. So we could probably see, leading up to a much bigger time of transition, if we're looking at Pluto at this generational change, going into Aquarius in 2040, it could be that this next, 15 years is really when people they push themselves to the point of global breakdown. What was the word that you used earlier, Nikki?
I don't know. I said
when you personally burnout. Yeah. So global burnout, like finally. Now I think that AI has a big part to play in this. I've talked about this before in other videos when we talked about Saturn and Neptune and Pisces and stuff. I think what's going to happen is it's in this next 15-year period where people are like, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we working? You guys, like, this doesn't make any sense anymore. This model makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, we need to change the culture so that we can actually do what we were meant to do, which is we specialize, we gather resources, and we specialize and we focus on our arts, our crafts, our sciences, instead of just working for the machine and, pouring all of our life force into somebody else's dream or their war budget or whatever, whatever messed up thing that they're doing. So I see the transition as it's going to come with good things and bad things.
That transition really opened up a lot of doors to new information too. Like, we people are looking a lot more at like, why do we have, these petroleum-based medicines instead of herbal medicines? Why don't they teach that? They're looking back at history and who's responsible for that. And it's not a conspiracy theory anymore.
Right.
It becomes fact. It becomes grounded in facts.
Yeah, and COVID had a part to play in that. So Absolutely. Like even out of something so terrible, we can see there's a benefit that comes from it. It woke a lot of people up and they're not going back. It really
did. Like it was like, for me around that time, I was experiencing a lot of burnout. And that's like exactly the time my illness really took over, and I couldn't really do anything about it. All I could do was work through it. And God, I just drank a lot, you guys, because I was like, fuck this. I don't want to deal with this. And I had so much pain. I used to have a lot of chronic pain. Like I lived with chronic body pain for about, oh my God, over a decade. And you don't realize how horrible it is until it goes away. And then you're like, wow, I can't believe I lived with that for so long. No wonder, I used to get so down on myself for turning to alcohol. Now I'm like, yeah, no wonder. No wonder I did. No wonder I was because I was in so much pain. I've had recently some really bad fibro flare-ups. My own fault, though. I was like, I'm going to give these Fruity Pebbles a try because they're gluten-free. I know.
They always smell and look good, and they're like, oh.
Dude, I know. Oh, I killed myself. I literally killed myself, though. And I figured out that eating that was almost like slamming a rum and Coke and smoking a cigarette. That's like exactly what.
You probably should have just did that. You probably had more fun.
Oh, I was like, my neurological system was just like totally screwed. Like I couldn't walk straight. I was really stiff.
It has antifreeze in it, Nikki.
Yeah, I couldn't move. I've been on the couch. I haven't been okay. I just haven't been okay. And it was my own fault, but I'm just like, I'm fucking hungry. Okay. Like I want to be normal.
Like you said, you're stressed. When you're stressed, your body has different cravings. You're also more sensitive to toxicity when you're in that state. So, I mean,
imagine like living your life in an area and all your friends and family, they all live a certain way and you have to live a separate way. Like I can't eat what everybody makes when I go to family functions. So how I bonded with people through food and connection, that's gone. Nobody understands it either. They just why don't you just have a beer? Why don't you just have it? Why don't you just go to Culver's with us? Why don't it just turns into like, have you been listening at all this entire time?
Well, and that's the thing. It's not
really isolating.
They want you to do that stuff for their own selfish purposes. It doesn't have they don't care about your own health and which sucks.
It does suck. So you really do realize how alone you are, and it's like, oh, that's it's not fun. It's just not fun. But it's
I've always had a weird diet. I was, so I know what that's. I was a vegan, and it was back before veganism was super trendy. So nobody had any. Like I'd go to Thanksgiving, and there's not like a single. They put butter in everything, and you know what? That's on me. I should never been a vegan. Nobody should be a vegan. So I kind of had it coming, but Yeah,
but I still can't have butter. Totally I know what you mean. Like, what can I have when I go to Thanksgiving? I can have maybe the turkey.
Yeah,
maybe I'll still have a reaction depending on what they used. And
they put
cranberry sauce,
everything. Yeah, I still wouldn't trust it. Speaking of fun parties, though, Trish Farrell 78 says I went to a full moon bonfire and I wrote some stuff down and burned it, which is exactly what you should be doing with the stuff that you write down. Trayton said, I just had it. Where was it? Stand by. Oh man, you guys are on fire in the chat today. Let me see here. Trayton said, I had it. I was making artwork during the full moon, but that usually happens. That's a good way to spend the time. Absolutely. Trayton says, yes, that's so true. Capricorn, at least the way I have observed energy, actually is a lot more sweet and coming from Cancer, coming from a Cancer rising.
I agree. They really are just some of the most devoted sweeties you've ever seen in your life. I'm like, this is. I don't know, when I hear that Gemini and the bad stuff about Gemini and Scorpio and all that, I'm like, oh, come on. Somebody burned you. Who came up with this?
Yeah. And it wasn't whoever it was. That's not probably the sign. Not even their sign. Yeah. There's like 50% of people out there hate somebody for their sign, and that's not even their sign, which, that sucks. Trish says, when I was at the bonfire, this dude was telling me he's an Aries, and I was like, bet you're not, though. I say that to everyone who gets on the call. I'm like, I ask everyone, hey, what is your sign? What do you think it is? And 50% of the time now they're wrong. So, but they're pleasantly surprised when they get their reading, because obviously it's extremely accurate. And then they're like, oh yeah. So they leave thinking about these things a little bit differently. Desiree says, because Capricorn aligns with the Tropic of Capricorn. Sierra Jolene says, I often wonder how offended ancient astrologers would be seeing all of this tropical astrology that has become popularized. Yes, to all of it.
Their eyes have rolled back so far into their head that they just
we're doing our best to bring back the ancient practices before tropical astrology. Lisa Virgo Warrior says, sending all love and lots of laughter. Heck yeah, we'll take it all. Sending it right back at you. Trish said, I wrote Roger Stevens, lead guitarist of Blind Melon, and on MySpace, and he actually messaged me back. That's cool.
Yes. Oh my God. That happened to my friend with Billy Corgan is Smashing
shut
Pumpkins. Oh, she had to call me right away. She was
I
like,
would have
"Oh my God." I know. I was so excited.
Awesome.
I love that for you. Oh my God.
That was
so
the
cool.
magic of MySpace. Yeah, I missed all of that, you guys. I didn't know that. I have no. The only thing I know about MySpace, for the most part, like I made one, but like 10 minutes later, they're like, "No, you should just go on Facebook. That's way cooler." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So then I abandoned it. But is the Weird Al song? I got my MySpace is totally tricked out. I got people begging for my top 8 spaces, yelling "Hi to 1,000 places."
Yeah. Oh my God.
I got a grill, but I still got braces.
Oh my God. I trolled Pauly Shore. I would just troll him every day because I loved him, but he like hated it. He'd delete all my posts, and I'm like, come on, be my friend.
He seems sensitive. He'd be an interesting.
He is. Yeah, I thought I was funny, but
a lot of comedians are. A lot of them are like
actually.
real sensitive. Lisa Virgo Warrior says, the more I learn about myself, the more I understand other people. Yes, that's definitely helpful.
Yeah. Yes.
Trish says, next year I'm booking a campsite to watch the Pleiades meteor shower. I missed them this year. There's one that is a class 4 dark sky in my state, so hopefully there will be clear skies. Whenever there's a cool meteor shower, for some reason, it's always overcast here, so I guess it's fine. Trish Farrell also says, several of my signs have been changed since Prometheus updated, and I'm hella annoyed. I was an Aries moon, and now it's saying I'm a Taurus moon.
I didn't finish changing the settings completely. And I had the same problem actually, and it was actually pissing me off. I was like, why is this not right? But Michael at One Sky Astrology, if you go on his YouTube, he made a video, and I don't know if that'll help or if you did that already and you still have like funky placements, but it fixed mine, and it was just adjusted it by like a degree or 2 maybe. So I figured that out. So go on, watch a video. It's just like a little tweak that you have to do, unless you did it already and it's still like weird, but I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just look at Stellarium as we're doing.
I do. I double check actually, because it changed my moon sign to Aquarius, and I was like, oh, and I don't know why. I was like, oh, because it's literally on the cusp anyway. Like it's my moon. It's like right there. So, but for some reason, when you see the sign change on the,
yeah, that would be stressful. I've had that happen too. Like I messed with my settings and like, what is going on?
I'm so sign cuspy anyway, so I just feel like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do both. It was like setting up my life, and I'm like, oh, like I'll just put it in the middle so I can just get the best of both worlds. I was probably thinking that. I don't know what I was thinking. Actually.
That would be trickier too. Trayton says,
It's annoying.
I don't know. I think the problem is more that there's too much of a dichotomy between either being tropical or sidereal, but specifically Vedic. I actually do want to see more Western sidereal. So, so here's me trying to shut my mouth and not say anything.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We all started out as tropical astrologers, but the thing is when we find out they're not using the real sky, that was kind of it for me. I was like, oh, that was it? The entire, and then the whole thing too was I ended up finding out something else. So I Googled like, it brought up like Vedic astrology, and they were like, oh, they use the real sky. I was like, oh, so the Vedics.
They don't say it that way though. They don't.
No, they don't.
Like, they're just like, oh, this is your Vedic chart. So
yeah,
that's weird.
And that's not even the oldest like form of astrology either. Like I'm finding that out too. No, Vedic isn't the oldest.
Not. No, you guys, just so you know,
about just as old as Hellenistic astrology.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I have a lot of. I don't really like Vedic astrology, and it's not that I don't like Vedic astrology. Let me clarify, because I definitely need to. There's a lot of ridiculous interpretations in Vedic astrology. Now this varies by school. Yeah. Like Nikki just sent me.
I just sent you a few of them, right? Like, but your Venus is too close to Saturn, making it an abomination or something.
Yeah, it can be so ridiculously negative and so ridiculously specific. Now, fortunately, not every Vedic astrologer is like that. Thank you. But some of it's like written into the culture, and some of it is just how Vedic astrology, which is not, it's a misnomer. There's no astrology in the Vedic scriptures or anything. They definitely had a time tracking system, the nakshatra system, and over time that started to develop as similarly to how the signs in Mesopotamian astrology became the 12 that we were talking about, the 30-degree signs. They started to be associated with different meanings and stuff, but originally they weren't. It's the same thing with the nakshatra system. But anyways, now there are Vedic astrologers out there who are fantastic, and they test things out. They don't just go with whatever stuff that they're told, and any astrologer needs to do that. I was just thinking about that today. Like if I didn't know anything about Mesopotamian astrology, okay, and I was just handed, and I guess to some extent this happened to me. I think it happens to all of us. If you're handed like the set of like, okay, sun in Leo means this, and then you give someone the interpretation and it's not, and they're like, no, that doesn't resonate. I would stop and be like, well, maybe the sun in Leo doesn't mean this. Now, apparently, and then I would start to figure out, well, what does sun in Leo mean? Let me get like 100 people together and let's see sun in Leo and let's see what matches up and what doesn't. Well, apparently that's not what everybody does. That's not what astrologers do out there. They just kind of like parrot whatever they've been told. So some of the great Vedic astrologers, and they're absolutely out there, they definitely don't just parrot. They continue to refine and research and everything. Trayton, I don't know if you know, this is something that was only recently brought to our attention, but apparently, as Gary O'Toole, one of our oversight groups members for the ISAA, he's a Vedic astrologer. He tells us that it's actually a growing movement that these Vedic astrologers are starting to go to tropical, which what? Why is this happening? The only thing I can think is they're doing it they're trying to reach the Western audience, which they only, they think that they have to do it. But man, that sucks. And I hope that they backtrack on that really quick. Desiree says you can change the boundaries back to what they were, Trish. I don't know anything about Prometheus. I'm gonna trust you on that one. Trish also says we're running underground music shows and fests during the lockdowns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you got to fight the power. Got to resist civil disobedience.
Yes.
Let me see. Why is my thing keep changing? Signs have changed. You can. Yeah. Oh. Trayton says, yeah, Neptune and Saturn and Pisces are putting the limit on subconscious, which I've seen in the way that people are not so ready to just jump in and try to help or save, which is what Pisces would do. Trayton also says Saturn is limiting it, but Neptune is shaking the foundation. Trish says, myself and my coworker fought against the mandates for the shot or at company and won. Awesome. Good for you.
Yes.
People, if nobody fights, we need fighters out there. People gotta, not everybody has to,
my doctor was up my butt about it. And I was like, look, you can't even tell me what's wrong with me. Can you tell me what's wrong with me? Because I'm coming in, you got me going to a rheumatologist. You've got me going, I'm getting like all these blood tests done. You don't know what's wrong with me. And you want me to take an experimental drug that people are saying is blowing their hearts up. And then my doctor looked at me like, oh, I guess maybe you're right. Maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah, did you tell me to read the insert? The inserts were all blank. They didn't have any information on them. So,
and you can't be sued. They can't be sued for what happened after. That kind of scared me too. I was like,
yeah,
wow,
it's horrifying.
Nothing says I don't have any confidence in my product. Like, yeah, we'll give this to you, but
my uncle, not to go down like this rabbit hole either, because if YouTube's going to hit us for something, they'll definitely hit us for talking about the COVID shot. But my uncle is like, he's this Green Beret. He's got I think he's got like 2 Bronze Stars or something. Okay. He was in his 70s and looked shredded, like shredded abs, like, he works out every day. He wanted to go to Austria to see his new grandson. And so they weren't letting you in without your shot. And he got it, and he couldn't walk for like a year or something. He just fell apart. So like, you guys don't trust the government. Okay. I know I'm not telling anybody to, take any action in particular or anything, but like, don't trust the government. If somebody's telling you not to do research, run away. It doesn't matter if it's a religion, it's a scientist, it's an astrologer, it's a whoever. Like, don't think trust for anybody. Yourself.
Just do exactly what we tell you to do. Okay. Like, that should be your first, like that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Run.
Yes. Trish, I went from tropical astrology to Vedic, and then realized that Vedic isn't really using Twitter astronomical value either. I think that might be a typo. Twitter astronomical. Maybe you meant the real or something. Then I found you guys, and moment. Well, yeah, that's why we're here. Autocorrect. Oh, there we go. Not Twitter. I meant true. Okay. Yes, that happens. Trish Farrell 78. Lol, it has antifreeze in it. Yeah, it does.
Nikki, yeah, I know.
It does.
I know, guys. I just want to be normal.
It's all right.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Don't worry about it.
I'll get through it.
Trayton
I thought it was the Red 40. I was like, oh God, it's got to be like all the Monsanto chemicals. It's got to be the.
There's all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff.
Okay, you guys, I know this for a fact. When they make cereal, it sits in a warehouse for almost a year before it actually ever hits the shelf. These things I know, and I still did it.
Honestly, that's probably better. Some of those compounds can degrade a little bit before they get into your system.
I know better, but yet I still
we all cave sometimes. Don't feel bad.
Me accountable.
Trayton says, okay, but I do have to admit that sidereal Geminis can be really mean though. Like, I don't think that's just a tropical perspective. I don't think that, hold on. I'm not going to discount your experience, but these people who have been mean to you that are tropical Gemini or sidereal Geminis, we need to look at what else is going in their chart too. Now, I will tell you that Gemini is very sensitive. So if you're dealing with people who have been abused or who have been emotionally injured, they might be more protective and they can lash out a little bit. So I don't know that I would write it off as all Geminis, but they are actually much more sensitive than anybody realizes.
They really know though what to say to that dagger. I mean, that's why Gemini and Scorpio, I put them in that same like group. They can really sting sometimes. I think it's because they just know what to say to just piss you off. They can be mean, I think, sometimes, but I
sounds like you two have some Geminis in your family.
I have some Geminis in my family. I do.
Okay.
And they, they're not mean per se. They don't like go out of their way to be mean. I think
where are these people's Marses though? See, that's the
exactly
thing. Like, what else is going on? There's other stuff that factors in.
Yeah. Well, Gemini's moody. I think
it can be.
And that's not something we talk about. Nobody talks about Gemini being moody. I mean, like Pisces is moody. Gemini's moody too. It's the same thing. It's the same
Some of them got it in them for sure.
Yeah. My son is a Gemini, and that man can come up with some of the meanest things I've ever heard. Oh my God, I don't remember. I don't remember. I know his Venus is in Leo.
Okay, that can do it. That can definitely do it. That's Venus in her war goddess, guys. So that can do it.
Yeah.
Might not be Gemini so much. Could be that.
Yeah, that is. He is very sensitive. He gets his feelings hurt pretty easy. So I don't know. I don't remember the rest of his chart.
I forget my stuff all the time too, so I can't remember everybody else's. Trish says, thank you, Nikki, about One Sky Astrology video. Desiree says, Athens changed the boundaries. Is that Prometheus? Is that what happened?
Yeah. So the boundaries changed because there was an issue with the Cancer Gemini boundary. And it's been an issue for a little while, but some of us just went and adjusted the
How big of an issue? Like a degree or two?
I don't think it was that big of an issue, but I haven't been.
Somebody get pretty worked up. Some people get real.
I don't know. Like accuracy matters, especially some people it really, really matters. So right down to the degree, and I've been seeing that too. So I'm like, I get it, but it just I don't know where the disconnect was, but it just corrects that. Like I had gone in and adjusted the degrees of the constellations because you can do that too. But this was a lot easier. I know I got a new computer. I got new everything. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to F with all of these settings like I did last time because I forgot how to fix them later. And I'll take screenshots or I'll like write it down. And, I'm a mess. I lose everything. I write stuff down. It just ends up in piles. Sometimes.
Well, I hear the papers. I know you are.
Yeah, I know. It's awful. This Capricorn full moon had me going through all my papers. I'm like, this can go. I took in consolidated notes and I'm like, this is what's actually matters. This is what doesn't matter. Like, cause I love researching too. I am so down to research. Like after the event and, I've got some marketing stuff. We have our podcast we want to launch. I want to really get with some of our ISAA students and some of our members and just do some data collecting on planetary nodes. That's where I want to really focus a lot of my work and just ask questions, because we don't know unless we talk to each other about it,
Yes, absolutely.
So, I forgot what it is.
Trish said, agreed about Vedic astrology. It's used too much for prediction, and I don't like that astrology should be used for prediction. Yeah, and what's very unfortunate is that it can be, because it's taken so much more seriously in India in particular than it is in the West. People get really worked up. I can't tell you how many clients I have who are like, well, this astrologer told me this when I was 16 and it all happened. It all came true. I'm like, yeah, but you believed it so much. She's like, they'll be like, I knew it was going to happen. Like, yeah, you believed it right into existence, like,
dude, you guys, I was that person. People would tell me stuff and I would purposely do the opposite thing so that it wouldn't happen. And then the shit would end up happening. Like, so, but that was never astrology. That was always like psychic stuff. Because I'm like, I don't believe that. I'm the master of my own universe. I'll do whatever the hell I want. And I don't know.
Well, maybe. I mean, it's hard to say without the exact prediction, but some of them are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some of them are
they are.
The one, Nikki, you sent, like, your mother-in-law is going to get mustard seed in her left eye, and she's going to, have a panic attack and
poison
then fall off a bridge.
And...
like goofy stuff. Some of it is that specific. Now, this is hopefully not the norm. I don't know because I don't get out much, but in some schools it is. Okay, so a lot of astrologers that do like stuff for like religious ritual timing and whatnot, they can be like that too. I just don't think that that's helpful. I agree to a large extent. Even doing predictive astrology, you got to be very careful because you don't you have to communicate the information in a way that makes them understand that they have a choice in how things unfold. I was thinking about that again last night. Like what's a better way to communicate that? And I think it's kind of like the location of the planets in the constellations, where things are at on the horizon, whatever, midpoints or nodes or whatever you want to use. These are like ingredients. This is like stuff you bought at the grocery store, but you get to come home and decide what you want to make with that. It's not like a set in stone. This is how it's going to be. It's just the different energies that you're working with that you get to decide what you want to do with. Or at least that's my take on it.
I don't really like to use astrology to make predictions. I mean, like you said, you can see what the energy is going to look like. But I prefer to use it more like on the psychology level and like, how can this help me? How can this help you? I know a lot
that's where it's the best
astrology because we're trying to figure ourselves out. We're trying to figure out what does it mean? Like I remember when I was a kid, you're an Aries sun. And some of that, rang true because I do have planets in Aries, like my Mars and Mercury. So it just got confusing over time, though, because it was like, no, you're sporty. No, you're this, you're that. I'm like, I'm not that, but I don't feel that.
Right.
It's definitely a good way to counsel people and understand them. Like,
yes.
I'm
help them understand themselves.
Virgo, I'm very much a Saturn in Virgo person. Unfortunately, it's a fortunate thing. I just haven't harnessed the energy correctly yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on figuring that balance out. Virgo can be really self-critical, and but it can be a badass and get shit done too, and push through a lot. So I'm still figuring that out, but Saturn and Virgo is that one's a tough one.
I like Saturn and Virgo. It is intense.
I love it. I love it. But
hard to deal with though. Like my Saturn's in Virgo, and I can see where that would be like difficult.
Yeah, where sometimes you just get in your own way, where you just overthink things, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, that's
over.
the issue. Trish
I love
said,
Trish.
Yeah,
she's like, EOE about cereal. Not gonna lie, sometimes I give sexy eyes to a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I won't do it, girl. Yes, that was literally me on Monday when I was helping my dad. I was like, "There's that Cinnamon Toast." That was my favorite.
That one, yeah.
That and Lucky Charms. Oh,
not Fruity Pebbles for sure.
Yes,
and Lucky Charms. Or not Lucky Charms. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I remember. I think it was when I was pregnant. And I couldn't eat anything. There'd be like a 4-month period or 4-week period where like I could only eat sandwiches. And then after that, only hamburgers or like whatever. It was just I was sick all the time. But one of the things I was like, it was like the first time I went to the store looking to buy cereal here. You guys, they have like 5 or 6 types of cereal and they're really all the same flavor. They just come in different shapes and different bags. So it's all like either cornflakes or like Cocoa Puffs or some variation thereof. And I'm like, oh my God, I would strangle someone to get some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't know why that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I like fantasize about it. Same thing with Lucky Charms. There's this, it's what is it? They make like cakes. It's not a bakery, but they make like good desserts, like super amazing desserts.
Like, are you talking about like Hostess? Like
no. This is like people. What is it called? It's like a chocolatier. That's what it is. It's like real people, and they live or they have a cafe or something up the street. But anyways, around New Year they make this fruitcake, which sounds disgusting. It's not. It's the greatest thing ever. And I remember. It's like glazed and it's got fruit, like dried fruit, but like good quality. This thing's like $30. Okay. It's like, it's amazing. And I and it's soft and squishy. And I remember taking a bite and it tastes, it took me a second to be like, what is this flavor? It tastes exactly like Fruity Pebbles. If you could put Fruity Pebbles into like a soft, squishy fruitcake, oh my God, it's so amazing. I ended up like every year now since then, I buy like 5 of them and I give them away as gifts. And I usually end up eating 3 all by myself.
Yeah.
It is incredible. Yeah, Fruity Pebbles taste good. I'm not going to lie.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know,
that's
the
best. It was on
sale.
I
had him here, if I saw him, if I came across, I'd probably eat him poison and all too. So
I know. I was like, I ate as many bowls as I could because I knew after the first bowl this was bad. I was like, oh, this is why I don't eat it. I better eat 2 more.
Better eat the whole box right now. Just get it out of the way. It's gonna happen sooner or later.
I know. I keep telling my boss, I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna take some time off and I'm just gonna eat whatever I want one day, and then I'll have the rest of the week to try to like recover. But I can't, like, it does something to my neurological like system. I literally walk sideways.
It's full of poison.
Like I can't move my hands. Like my hands all week just wouldn't work. Like I couldn't grip. I couldn't anything. Just dropping everything. I'm like, oh God! It took like 3 bowls of cereal for me to just take 10 million steps backwards and get that weird tingly feeling.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's stupid. Yeah.
That's bad situation for sure.
Yeah, I hate it. It's like, come on. It's like, can't do anything.
In relation to Vedic astrology, Trish said, and it uses bullshit tropical revisionist interpretation of ancient constellations that have no historical basis. I'm on board with you. Again, I'm sure there are Vedic astrologers out there who maybe forego that stuff. So, you know, I don't know for sure. I'm sure they're out there, but that's not the norm. Most of it is based on classical astrology. They just use the actual sky.
Ooh, I do have a question. So the Mesopotamians saw Capricorn as a goatfish as well, too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I read that in a book recently, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta ask Abby. I gotta ask her because I gotta know if this book is true or not.
Yep.
And it's an old one. It's Star Lore, Myths, Legends, and Facts by William Tyler Oslot, I think.
Oh, okay.
You guys can't even see it. Never mind. No. I don't even know why I grabbed it. I'm a shadow person today. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on with this, guys. But
It'll be all right. It's time for a webcam.
Maybe it was ghosts. Literally, I wasn't touching anything. I was sitting here just talking.
Nikki, you created it. You even said so. You're like, I was thinking about it super hard. I need a new webcam. And sure enough, now you need a new webcam. So congratulations. You are the master of your universe. Trayton says, I mean, I get it. Vedic astrology doesn't just use the ecliptic, which is why it goes so deep. But Vedic astrologers going tropical is diabolical. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I know. I just, I've been seeing it too. And I don't know if it's because the community is so big and our community is, well, okay. You know, when we look at astrologers, a lot of us are, you know, practicing, you know, we have solitary practices, which is pretty, you know, witchy and cool. And a lot of us do things completely different than each other. But we seem to still be getting like the same information, which is awesome. That's what we want.
Yeah.
But, you know, with it being such a solitary practice and we don't, you know, it's not really widely accepted. Some people just need the, you know, validation. They just need the group, you know, validation. They just need to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves. And whether it's a lie or not, I don't know. I don't know why people go back to it, but I don't know. That's probably a personal choice, but you'll never catch me doing that. Not in a million years.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. It's weird to me. Like, I just don't want to be lied to. And I value accuracy and integrity. And I mean, most people do. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know about anybody else, but I mean, I hate when I'm being lied to. And when I figured out that I couldn't trust astrology, you know, and for years, I had a palm reader when I was like 15 tell me I was going to be an astrologer. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm into it. And I would use it as like party tricks, you know, if it was, a lot of it was intuitive. But I never thought I would, because I kept testing it and I kept getting like only half right. And it would piss me off. I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to pour my entire life into something that I don't truly believe in. It wasn't until COVID when I started studying with a magician, and she was like, she laughed at me. She's like, you're never going to make it through my program. And, you know, that's okay. But you'll find something that works for you. And we did a lot of cool stuff, like, you know, like the psychic stuff was cool, like how you would sit and practice walking up the street and going into the gas station and envisioning what's going on there and then coming back. But you're just meditating. You're just sitting there. So you're like, it's like nice astral travel practices and exercises. I got really good at tarot. I got so good. I was actually like trying to use it to like gamble. Spirit doesn't like that, apparently, actually, because I got shut down right away. But then I was like, oh, I'll use it for timing, because it's got the astrological correspondences on the card. But the timing wasn't lining up. The people and the signs that were pulling up was just not lining up. But when you line that astrology up to the real sky, then it worked. Then it aligned. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is crazy. But then I dropped tarot completely and just threw myself into astrology, because it was absolutely incredible. And I'm reading these things about myself that I'm like, oh my God, I've never read that before. That hits me in the heart right here. Especially evolutionary astrology, like Jeff Wolf Green's work, and Stephen Forrest, you know, is an evolutionary astrologer. I got into that humanistic astrology, and it got so deep. I was like, holy shit, they're talking about past lives. That's stuff I've been like having deja vu my entire life. Like it resonated with me. So I think it was perfect timing, really. Although I kind of wish I would have taken it a little bit more seriously, but I knew something was up. I mean, when you see a lot of clients every day and you're asking them about their day, their family, you know, their birthdays, you know everything about these people. They sit down and it's a confessional. Okay. They'll tell you everything. You start touching somebody's head and they see themselves, all of a sudden they're telling you things that I've had people like get pale and just look at me after we're all done and be like, I've never opened up to anybody like that before.
Were they like, please don't tell anybody any of that stuff I just told you?
You know, it was a lot like channeling though, because you didn't really remember a lot of the stuff they were saying.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of in the blow dryers going sometimes. So you're just like, You're not really listening, but you can, you know, look at their sun sign, even just their sign. And I'm like, okay, they're definitely not a Virgo. This person just isn't a Scorpio, you know, like you just know after a while, something's up, something's not right.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just my experience, guys. And I always say you need to gather data. You need to definitely like write shit down, like figure it out. I mean, don't just make assumptions and assume. Like I just assumed it was wrong. And I really wish I would have dug a lot deeper, a lot sooner, but you know, I was really into my craft. Oh my God. I was at that time, I was so into my artistry and I just really wanted to become like the best hairstylist ever. I was like, yeah, I want to be the best color. I want to be the best. Obviously, I've got some, you know, Aries placements make me kind of competitive.
Yeah. Why you want to do something if you don't want to be the best?
Yeah, exactly.
I got strong Aries placements too, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah. But my thing is though, is I'm so competitive with myself and I hate it. I'm like my own worst enemy sometimes because I'm like, oh, you didn't do what you said you were going to do and you said you were going to do it. Or you set the bar here and you didn't make it. And then you get,
some of that's an OCD thing. And I do think that Saturn in Virgo has something to do with that too. Just
figuring out how to channel that better. Yeah.
It's a process.
It is.
Trayton says my dad is a sidereal Gemini, and there's what happened? And there's our other things going on, like our Saturn signs exactly squaring one of another. Yeah, so like there's usually other stuff going on. We don't factor that in when we're generalizing with somebody, so that's normal. Desiree says love the grocery store ingredients analogy. Heck yeah. Trayton says yes, Trish. Like that's really weird. I'm not sure what. I think there was another. Oh, about the Vedic going tropical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Desiree says, yes, Nikki, I like to use it for emotional and psychological too.
Yes. It helps. It helps you understand. Like it helps you make the next move. It's like, it helps you be more forgiving of yourself. It helps you like I was created this way.
Yeah. That your intuition is actually probably really good. And to quit thinking so hard about it and like trust your intuition, because most of the time it lines up with what's going on. So it's nice to have that validation from this guy that we think is impersonal and doesn't know you, but it knows you very, very well. Trish said, my Venus, Mars, Pluto, and North Node are in Virgo. That's a lot of Virgo. I don't know if I should congratulate you or not, depending. That could be really rough. Desiree says, I have a stellium in Virgo. A lot of Virgos into astrology. You know why? I don't know what it is, you guys. Now, I suck at math. I have dyslexia, and it's just not my thing. I can't keep the numbers in my head. But a lot of Virgos, they end up being accountants, okay, depending on what's going on. And some of this is because they're really good at calculating. And this is also their biggest issue, too. They're too good at calculating. And so they're always trying to make predictions like, you know, they're just thinking all the time. And that can be it's like hardwired in the body. So it can make you really good with sciences, research, some of this stuff, but it can also make you way too reliant on your brain and what you think, like Nikki was saying, like, oh, I you know, it's in her head. She's got to do this so many times or whatever. Not always the easiest placement. Conjunct Venus and Jupiter. My Saturn's conjunct Jupiter. It is really, really intense. That's like, I don't know about you guys, all this Virgo energy. Let me know how this affects you. I am militantly independent, okay? To the like a fault. It's not probably a good thing. Like I will not position myself to be dependent on anyone or anything. And in some ways that serves me because, you know, I was able to do all of the drugs at various times and then just like put it down and not, you know, have any issues. Like I smoked for a couple of years and then just stopped, you know, and like didn't think anything of it because there's this hardwired thing inside of me to be independent. But I know it manifests for different people in other ways. So let me know how
I agree with that, Abby, because anything that controls me, like I have Saturn, Pluto conjunct in Virgo. So anything that I find controlling me, I immediately like don't like. I rebel against it. So if I have to chain smoke cigarettes all day and it's controlling my life and affect it, like I had to let it go. I couldn't do it. I do, you guys. I like drugs. I like drugs. I used to anyway. I mean, but I don't like anything controlling me. I don't like anything that I have to have in order to live. It's just not like that.
It's an independence thing. Yeah, it really is, which I think is good. Yeah, everybody in here has got wicked Virgo going on. That's
yeah.
But I think so. Astrology appeals to that part of it connects you to science, to math. It is very mathematical in nature, or mathematic in nature. And it combines like the natural, it's basically like the first natural science that we ever had in human history. So I think that Virgo connects to both of those things, both the mental side and the physical world side. I mean, I think it's a really nice union. But that's interesting that there's so much Virgo up in here.
I love Virgo.
Yeah, me too.
We can talk about overanalyzing and nitpicking and OCD, but I mean, who's going to run the world if there's no Virgos?
Yeah, right. Somebody's got to be running stuff in the home too. I think in some cases, classical astrology lucked out in some of their associations, but the home, the physical body, the home, that stuff holds true even in ancient times with Virgo being Ninhursang or Shapanatu, and she's basically the Mother Earth. That's what's going on. So the Earth is our home, the Earth is our body. It's an extension of our body, you know, that whole thing. So I do think that there's some of that independence comes in with the home too. And again, that will probably depend on different places or placements that people have. Trayton says, but actually, Nikki, you brought up something that I think a lot of us in the West call ourselves the sign that reflects our sidereal Mercury sign. Oh, that's interesting. A lot of them, at times, it's going to be the close to the sun for a lot of people anyways, too. Like I always notice that, and interesting because it really lines up with this kind of culture based so much around business and work. I think that we can see an uptick in people being sidereal because they're tired. Yeah, for sure. I didn't think about that. Nikki, where's your Mercury? Is it in the same sign?
Oh, my Mercury's in Aries along with my, yeah.
Okay, so in there with your sun.
Yeah, a lot of Mars. Yeah, I got a Mars Mercury conjunction in Aries, so.
I can't remember where my Mercury's at right now.
Is it Libra or Scorpio?
Mine, I think it's in Scorpio.
Yeah,
so I think
it's Scorpio.
Yeah, I got a big distance between my sun and my Mercury, I believe, which sucks. Maybe not a big distance, but it's enough to where
mine's pretty distant too. Mine like went ahead and it's way ahead of the
sun. I have found so the sun tends to mellow out those other planets and stuff that it's around. And when it's close to Mercury, you end up having a nicer balance with your intuition and the logical part of your brain. The farther they're apart, that Mercury really kicks off, and it's like, no, my brain's running the entire show. It's super good at everything. Like, and it can be really hard to to find.
That is so real. Yeah. I always wondered why I was the way I was, and when I realized it was that Mercury Mars, I was like, oh my, that's a part of the problem. It's not a problem if you don't know how to handle it.
Right.
But I didn't know how to handle it. So I'm working on it.
But
it explains the thought patterns and all of the stuff that I endured when I was younger, when the energies are fresh and new and you're still trying to figure it all out and work with it all. So
yeah,
I don't know, like the competitive nature, all that fun Aries stuff. Aries is a fun little sign.
Yeah, I like it.
All the details.
I think it gets a bad rap most of the time. Yeah, Trish said my son's girlfriend was studying his sign tropical, which she thought was Capricorn, in order to understand it better and how they balance. I was like, honey, he's a Sagittarius.
So she's like, how can I control this guy?
Yeah, no, good luck.
I need to know. Not a Sag. You're like, goodbye. You gotta be friends with a Sag. I mean, they like friendship. They don't really like
that's another
type stuff.
That's another. They gotta be in control.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of independence that comes from that too. It's not. Here's the thing, though. Sagittarius, in the classical sense, gets that reputation for like, if I recall, their words are written on water. That's not true at all. They'll commit to stuff, but they're not going to commit to like something half-assed. Like they got to really be into it, and they'll go all in. But
absolutely.
Yeah, but they just got to be.
Yeah, with militant, freaking.
Yes.
They're devoted. They're into it. Like
They'll be into it. Yes.
Yeah.
Trish says, I write how I talk and I say a lot sometimes. Sorry guys, it annoys me. It doesn't at all. No,
not at all.
We all need to talk more and communicate more. We need more of that. Desiree says, I am an accountant.
I love it. Dude, I almost switched my marketing degree to accounting. Like I was this close, but I didn't want to spend any more years in college. I sometimes wish I would have, because I was like, oh, I could be at home working from home right now. I could be doing that. Instead, I decided to do marketing.
Well,
marketing is fun. You know, I've been getting reacquainted with Canva and playing around, making designs and playing with it. But
yeah, marketing's good too. I really love physics. I wish the numbers didn't get mixed up in my head, you guys, because I'm super into it. But I mean, again, it's physics is basically a natural science. It's trying to understand the universe, and that's basically what astrology is. So they're similar.
Yeah.
You know, they're cousins. I know the physicists will be like, no, that's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. I know when I read stuff about physics, I'm like, oh, this is all the psychic stuff. This is all the energy stuff. Like you guys.
Well, quantum physics, yeah.
That?
Yeah. Quantum physics is a whole different ballgame.
Yes,
and,
yes.
It's basically metaphysics, and the ones who really are open to understanding what's going on, they recognize that, and it's freaking people out in like the classical sciences.
Well, yeah, because the quantum physics theory is that we're all connected on some sort of level.
It's not a theory. That's
not a theory.
It's like demonstrable, provable.
Well,
fact.
isn't that why we read the moon as a collective? Because I mean, that's kind of something we're all connected to. We're all connected to the moon. We're all connected to these emotional patterns. You know, when we read for the collective, we usually read like the moon phases. Do you think that has a lot to do with it, with the moon being connected to memory and that type of stuff?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Oh, like as a collective, how we're all connected, and like we're connected through like.
Well, I think that's why
the moon and different planets and those energies. Yeah,
I think
not that we aren't having an individual experience. It's just that we're still connected to everybody through.
Well, I got a theory on
the
that.
Planets. Yeah. What is it?
It's probably not that interesting. Okay, so I'm just being honest with you. I don't want to like build it up to be like this amazing thing. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so when you start to get into quantum physics, you got to get real comfortable with paradoxes. Okay, like you just got to accept them that they're there. Okay, so I think that we are so when you close your eyes and you don't see that your computer screen, or you plug your ears and you don't hear my voice anymore, on a quantum level, it's literally gone. Okay, so everything that happened to you 10 seconds ago is literally now fuzzy, not just because like your brain doesn't have like photographic perfect memory, because literally on a quantum scale, it's dissipating and it's going away, which means that you can change your future by going back and reliving it, change your future, yes, but change your past by going back and reliving it in like a different way that you would want it to be. So it's only like this moment right now, and everything else is not real anymore. So this means that literally your experience, what you're hearing and seeing right now, is the only reality, is the only experience, and none of it's actually real. Okay. It's all within consciousness. It's occurring within your consciousness. That said, how do we reconcile that? There's also a collective experience. I don't know that we have to. I think that we can function just perfectly well, just with you thinking that you're the only one and the stars rise for you every morning. And I think that's perfectly fine and normal and natural, because I think it's true. But I think that there's multiple things going on. So there's this, paradoxical thing where we can have multiple realities at once, not in the tropical zodiac multiple or the tropical sidereal. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the nature of reality.
Yeah.
In which case, so like technically, yes, Nikki's having her experience and it's the only reality. And then I'm having my experience and it's the only reality. And on the surface, it can seem like maybe they're overlapping, but for real, maybe you just dreamed me up so you could have this experience right now. Because when you get down to it, quantum physics demonstrates that our world is basically much more akin to a very, very, very vivid dream than it is actual stuff. Like it doesn't exist in the way that we think it does. So I don't remember what you asked me to even get on that. that like go down that path. But when I think about this often, like, well, how does that apply to astrology? Because somebody could make the case, and I'm sure people do make the case, that the whole reason why tropical astrology works, like, because some people think that it works, is because of like this collective where they basically created it to work. Like they have thought about it and believed that it worked for so long that they all kind of collectively created this dream scenario where tropical astrology works. The problem with that, again, goes back to, I guess if we all collectively believe that we open the window and jump out of the 6th-story floor, that we could fly too. And that actually could happen. I don't know. I'm not going to try it out, like, personally. In the meantime, though,
yeah, right.
It goes back to, yes, if you believe that if you do heart surgery on someone, you're going to be able to take out their stomach cancer or something. Sure. I guess if you want to try that, that's fine. But, otherwise, like, let's use the real sky in the meantime until we figure out like the complete nature of reality and stuff. But I think going back to what you were saying with the moon and it being like a collective experience, you're talking about like when we do a forecast for the world. That's what you mean by the collective experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I just think, like you said, we're all influenced by the moon. We're all influenced by all of it, but the moon obviously has the biggest effect, if not the sun. Like,
oh yeah, the sun is the absolute star of the show, but I mean...
right. So, but yeah, like there's it influences. They all have. They're just a macrocosm of you. All of it's just. Like your natal placements, everything. It's just a reflection of you on the outside. So if we live in this holographic universe, which again, quantum physics backs that up too, every part is within the whole at all times. Like you can't escape it. So these things are just a part of us. Now we could lie to ourselves and say that, Pluto is moving into Aquarius, but I mean, that's your gig, I guess. Go.
Yeah. Oh no!
I'm still here. I clicked a button. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on.
No worries. Trish says I read tarot and the stars. Yeah, tarot's good too. I love it. Trish Farrell 78 says about Virgo constellations. My ex used to get up and say that I run too much math. When I knew he was lying, I said, well, if your math added up, I wouldn't need to run it. Yeah, exactly. It's good when the math adds up. Kit Kat says Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, Moon, and the Sun in Virgo. That is a lot of Virgo, a ton of Virgo. I'd be interested, like, is it above or beneath the horizon? Trish Farrell says, we got another super Virgo. What is going on? How are we all here? Because I'm telling you, Virgo is into the natural sciences, whether that's physics or astrology or forestry, agriculture, numbers, math, the basic stuff. They want to, I'm going to explain it here in a second. Let me finish this other comment that you got, though. I really need to study physics. I heard that it's common for physicists becoming deeply spiritual. Yeah, because the veil of physical reality is blown wide open for them. Yeah. So here's the way that I like to explain it. And this analogy doesn't work for a lot of people because they're unfamiliar with it. But, excuse me. So Virgo is very similar in its nature to the goddess Lakshmi. Who is in Hinduism, which is just a catch-all for, various Indian religions and traditions and culture and whatnot. She is a goddess of joy and beauty and like basically all the awesome stuff that one could have here in the material world. It's all about, she's all about like, they call her like a goddess of luck and wealth and stuff. And it's because she just brings joy and the bliss of here in the material world. Well, she has a name that they sometimes call her is Maya, which means illusion or magic, depending on the definition. And it speaks to the illusory nature of the material world. So even in the whole essence of her being the avatar or the expression of the universe, they're admitting in that same time that the universe isn't actually real. It's all like this stuff, and depending on your religion, like, are you supposed to, overcome it or detach from it or whatever? That's not really the point. But with Virgo having this nature, it's very much concerned with like reality, quote unquote, if you're listening to this and not looking, I'm doing sarcastic air quotations next to my face. And it's because there's a deep desire to want to understand or manipulate. I don't mean manipulate in a bad word, but like create through the material world, whatever this is. Okay. Whatever the material world is. If it's ones and zeros and we're all in a computer simulation, sure. Or if it's, you know, the wave function collapsed into subatomic particles, whatever. So I'm not surprised to see so many Virgos here, because I think that on some level, you got to want to understand the universe. To be interested in astrology, you have a natural desire to understand what's going on in the universe. And believe it or not, you guys, not everybody is into that. I know it's hard for all of us on this show and like in the chat to understand that. But a lot of people don't care. That doesn't even cross their mind.
It doesn't even concern them. I've been bringing it up lately. I'm like, doesn't anybody think about like why we're here, what we're doing, what is the fabric of the universe, and why does it work this way? No, they don't. Like, I'm the weird one. I'm like, I think about this every single day, like all day long.
That's like a large portion of what I'm thinking about. Yes, the mysteries of the universe.
We have these dreams, we have these like visions, and you know, there's all these illusions about what it is that we're experiencing, and we want to know the truth, you know. So we'll explore. I've explored different religions, I've explored different topics, and gotten into the mystical stuff, the occult, and dug into a whole bunch of different things that were just kind of I found to be ridiculous. I won't get into it, but you know, it's a constant study of information. It's just constantly taking in. Like 10 years ago, I thought a certain way, I felt a certain way. I don't feel that same way anymore. I've learned from that, you know. So
I don't feel the same way I did last month, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
20 years from now, I'm going to have a completely different idea of how I feel about spirituality and the universe, and how we connect to spirit and the spirit world. And you know, I'm really big into that. I'm really big into you know, what's going on the other side of the veil. And I don't know, I guess I've just had so many experiences where I'm like, okay, I know there's like a group of people and they're watching me. Actually, everything I do, actually. Everything you do, guys. Everything you do. I just have to let you know that, okay?
And don't make it weird, though.
Don't make it. You can make it weird if you want.
It can get weird. There are times when it gets weird, and you have to be like, nope, I don't want to think about this.
But there comes a point where you have to get a little bit more rooted and grounded in reality, and been living in that like in between worlds for a long time, and you know, you gotta grab hold of something real and true eventually, even if it's just illusionary at the time. It's how we get through you know, life here. It's really hard for everybody. We see a lot of really horrible things going on in the world, and people think, well, you know, I would have never wanted this. You know, if I was a spirit and I was supposed to, like, if I even believe in that, you know, why would God make this world so bad? And why would this happen and that happen? If it, like, people have a really hard time imagining or thinking like that it's something that they signed up for. Like, I would never sign up to suffer. And I was like, I totally agree with that. I've had those same conversations with spirit too. Like, why the fuck would I want this? But imagine you're a spirit, okay? If you can imagine not being a human, and you're imagining that you're a spirit and you have spirit friends and everybody's free. There's no bodies. It's just light. And you're like, oh my God, you know, let's play a game. Let's play like a game called Soap Opera, and you play Abby, I'll play Nikki, and they'll play da 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 da, and then this is what we'll set up. Like, imagine that that's how it is, you know?
It's probably closer to what's going on,
Yeah. And so it makes people really, it makes it hard for them to be like, why would I ever choose this? Well, maybe so-and-so in your life needed to learn this lesson, and you volunteered, and you were like, yeah, you helped me with this, and I'm going to help you with that. You know, and you play this part, you play a part, in their life. You play a part and other people play parts in your lives too. And it's not necessarily bad. You're not a bad person because you made bad decisions. It's a part of the journey. It's a part of it.
Like, yeah, it's how we challenges and suckage. That's how we grow.
Yeah. I meet people all the time who lost years of their life to like drug use or, bad marriage or whatever, and I don't see it as years lost. I tell them that. I'm like, do you know that, this is something you can use. This isn't like the end all be all, because this happened. This doesn't actually define you. I've had a lot of conversations, unfortunate conversations with women who have had, been assaulted. And it's like, what happened to you doesn't define who you are, right. And that's something that a lot of people think like, oh, I did this or this happened to me. And that becomes their identity. Yeah. And it's not something that, it's part of the process, healing process, but it's also something you have to integrate into your life. It is not the end all. Like you can still hate that person, but chances are when you die, you're going to see that spirit on the other side and they're going to be not the person you thought they were here.
Oh, right,
so
right.
I live in a different, in a different reality where, I know that, which sucks. I'll tell you that, guys, something. It sucks because I know I'm a spirit. I know I come from a spirit place. I know I'm like, oh, I got a lot of other things going on, but it makes it really hard when you meet somebody that you absolutely hate or somebody fucks you over because you're like, oh, I understand, I get it, which is a weird response to have. But when you understand that they are also a spirit, they're also this like baby person or whatever the hell stage of spirituality they're in, it can help you understand where that came from, that negativity or, whatever it is they did to you. Sometimes those things can't be explained away. And you're just like, wow, I can't believe that evil thing happened to me, but it's all a part of the show, and I hate to say it. I hate to put it that way. And it's like, you can believe whatever you want. But you guys, you're the star of the show, baby. It's showbiz,
Yeah. Well, I think that's a much better way to look at it and understand. We're still getting comments from angry people who watch the Olavani videos, and they're like, it's not spiritual to say like rape and murder and molestation are okay and blah, 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 whatever.
It's not. It's not okay, but it's something we experience here to have your power taken away and then reclaim your power. There's things about these things that happen to us, these terrible things that happen that not only teach us, about self-worth, I mean, all these different lessons, it teaches other people too. And yeah, you're going to have bad people on the planet. You're going to have people who are good, who make bad choices. I mean, what do you do about that? It's dichotomy. We can't control everything. You're always going to have to deal with two sides of the coin.
I try to take and it wasn't always the case, but over time I've come to look at it like all of these people are just so like Nikki, for example, or Trish or Kit Kat, whoever's out there, Desiree, like and I'm not saying it's all about me, I'm just using this as an example, but like everybody out there are just different configurations of me. Like there's only one consciousness, which means anything I experience to myself, I on some level have done to myself. And I know that's really hard for a lot of people, especially like things that happen to children, because, you don't have a say in any of those things, or at least we think that we don't. We don't know the parameters we set for ourselves, before we come into this life or whatever. Either way, though, and not to really simplify it, it really comes down to we live in a material universe, right? That or a theoretical, cognitive, mental construct universe, whatever matrix, where we have polarities. And if we don't ever experience negative things, we also don't experience the good stuff as much because you don't appreciate it. It's just like, now I was cleaning the other day and I realized something about myself. Sometimes I sabotage myself to where I'll let the house get really messy, which takes about 2 days because I got an 8-year-old, right? It doesn't take very long. because it feels so good. That feeling of like, oh, I just cleaned my whole house. I just like sanitized it, right? Like it just feels so good.
I love doing that.
But the next day when you have the exact same clean house, it doesn't hit the same way. You're like, yeah, I know it's good. Like I like having my house clean. But that moment of having it like perfect, you know, after it's been real messy, that's such an awesome feeling. But you don't get that unless you've experienced the negative side. So, and I'm not saying like, well, that's a great reason. Let's all go out, experience like tragedy and loss. And, you know, like, let's set ourselves up for that. Like, I'm not saying that. Those things happen to us naturally. You know, we all experience death. Like at some point in life, people around us will start to die. You know, there's a natural part of aging. Like there's natural negative things. They might not be negative, but you know, like there's stuff that sucks that's just built into the program. But those things are here to like Nikki said, like, you know, like we integrate it, we become stronger. It's like going to the gym, you know, like you don't get stronger if you don't put yourself under some amount of stress and tension. Like you gotta have the negatives in order to get the growth. It just won't happen. And that's why so many people who are born into fabulous wealth, like they don't have purpose. They don't know. They just end up, you know, doing drugs and getting prostitutes and you know, whatever. Because like they don't.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Well, it might be fun for a little bit, but you know, that ends up their whole lives, and they just plummet because they never had to. They never built their character. You know.
Yeah, I have a theory about that. I think that's how they get a lot of the new souls in here. They're like, oh yeah, you want to try Earth?
That doesn't even sound.
What do you
fun,
want?
They're like,
I want to be
so fun.
rich. I want to be this. I want to be that. You know, that's how it like.
Well, some of the stuff, but you know what? I'm not saying we should all aspire to have to work real hard and earn money, but even if just realizing yourself as the creator and that's how you make your money is by, you know, like discovering yourself, that's probably still better, like a better experience than just having it handed to you and you don't even get to play that game. Like, what's it like to achieve? You know, like achievement is a great game to play. What a fun, I think it is anyways. But again, Aries,
I agree. And the lazy like approach to life, I feel like I've kind of done that before. That's why I'm like, oh cool, but it does get boring.
A little bit
same
of
thing every day. You can't be too comfortable, and life doesn't ever let you stay too comfortable. And the more you force yourself to be in that same comfort zone, you never change, and it turns into like some people grow old and they never grow up. Turns into kind of that thing. You know,
a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I know a lot. I know a lot of a lot of family members like that.
Sprout Queen's late to the party, but says also have Sun, Uranus, Venus, and asteroid Lilith and Virgo. So a lot more Virgo. Trish is on board with the reincarnation. I'm not opposed to it either. I don't know what people like. And I've had some horrible stuff go down, but again, it comes down to.
I'm totally down for the reincarnation is totally real. I feel like it's totally real. You don't have to agree with anything I say. I just feel like it's definitely real, and you have a choice. You don't have to come back here, but most of the time you do. Most of the time you're like, oh, I can do it better. Oh, I'll remember this time. And
I think that's part of it. That's how it reads in a lot of people's charts is like, okay, it looks like you just wanted to tweak a few things. Like you just wanted to come back and experience these things as a female now. Like there's just little things like, okay, I want to do this a little bit differently this time, but like same skills, you know.
And met people who remember being men, you know, and they transition because they're like, hey, you know, like this is how I feel. I need to feel like how I am inside my body. So, I mean, I totally can get down with that. I understand.
Yeah, I had a really hard time because I like predominantly male in many, many lifetimes. And I struggled. I didn't carry a purse until I was 27. I wore boy clothes. Like, I didn't wear makeup, like none of it. I had to teach myself how to be a girl. So I 100% understand the struggle there. Nikki, I think we got a call that we got to go to, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, you guys. We're going to go talk to some people out of the country about the growth of sidereal astrology and making that more of a global thing. So thank you, everybody who joined us today. We had Trish, Trayton, Desiree, who else we got in here? All kinds of, you guys were on fire today, so we appreciate you. Sending lots of love to all of our apparently Virgo people in particular, because you guys are into astrology. So, you know,
this whole like the video quality for my, it looks like we hid my identity.
You're like
it's so funny.
They're coming for you. We gotta hide you.
Right.
Well, we will be back next same time, same place. And is next week the new moon show? Or
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure we'll be close enough.
We'll be talking about the new month and stuff. So until then, you guys take very good care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.